Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel, and just before we begin, if you hear some background noise, that's the 3D printer, which I kind of forgot is printing, and it's printing something kind of important, so I don't want to pause it. Point being, I'm going to try and keep you from hearing the background noise, so apologies for that. But today, I don't know if you've been checking in on my Blue Sky, it's been a day, so I need a video that I've been saving off for a rainy day, and since today has been nothing but rain, let us get into what I call a feel-good video. Video is going to make me feel good, because I get a toy out of it. So, I've been hanging on to this for a few years now. So, this Galaxy Force Noise Maze is something I found during my first excursion out to California, specifically Frankenson. You've heard me talk about them more than once. Well, this is one of the toys that I want to say, I will admit, there were two Galaxy Force Deluxes. I brought home one, and I had to leave the other. I want to say this is the one I had to leave, and my friend Edgar went and picked it up for me afterwards. So, thank you, Edgar, whether this is the one or not. Still appreciated, still awesome of you. Point being, there's a new Velocitron, or not a Velocitron, but what am I saying? Like a Walmart capsule line that's based on Cybertron. Where's my brain got crossed there? Apologize. There's a brand new one coming out. There's a brand new one coming out as a store exclusive for Age of the Primes, and I want to be able to compare it to the original. I don't have the original Cybertron one anymore because for some stupid reason I decided to sell off all of my Cybertron toys once upon a time, and I still regret it. It's like I don't even have the red Excellion anymore. I was in a slash and burn mood back then. So let's reclaim one today, shall we? Let's see how a 20-year-old toy has survived this long. And I know, for you Mint Inbox collectors who might be watching, what I'm about to do is sacrilegious. This is a very popular toy from a very, very good toy line from 20 years ago. You know, this is like opening up a G1 figure in the 2000s, you know. In fact, it would be like opening up a G1 figure in 2005 when this came out. Funny that. So yeah. Too late now. Now there's no going back. Alright. It's been a long time since I handled this particular version of the toy. I will admit I do have this mold. I do have this mold in a readily accessible version. I have the BotCon sweeps. In fact, I have two of Derek Wyatt's BotCon sweeps. So, yeah, I have messed with this toy semi-recently, but, you know, there's no comparison to the original. Not to mention, the Japanese one is just going to do things that the American one never did, and that's why I wanted to crack this thing open. It is gorgeous. Can we, like... I didn't even, like, go over this. I really should have. Like, can I just, like, before I ditch this box forever, can we just appreciate how good the Cybertron or the Galaxy Force packaging is? Like, I love the emphasis on which planet they came from, you know, supposedly. I like the yellow borders on everything that makes everything pop nice and loud, you know? The Galaxy Force logo there at the top, which is always a cool logo. Big picture of the character on the side, the actual toy. Character art on the top and on the top flap. This is just nice. It's just like overall, just is such a nice packaging design. And we even have that splash art that you don't get anymore of the big battle between everything. Like all the battle going on. Jeez, yeah, you just don't get packaging this good anymore. Like, it's just such an afterthought now. Alright, now back to the actual toy at hand. Let's dive into this. See, is this one with those? Yep. Man. Yeah, really secure packaging back then. You see a few toy lines that are still doing this, but you never see it out of Transformers anymore. Even in Japan, the exclusive Transformers there. Like even the Wild King stuff I've been opening up. It's just a cardboard tray with the toy held in by little plastic bands. You don't get this level of intricate anymore to make sure that toy stays put. This is really secure stuff. All 4 tabs got to be cut free of their tape. Open up all 4. Boom, 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 boom. Now it slides out of the cardboard tray. Yeah, and they don't print on the cardboard trays anymore either. This looks way nicer than any of the current packaging. That was probably way louder than I expected. I apologize. I'll try to mute that a little bit in post. So, first off, let me get this out. I love the cyber keys. I love the Force chips because this is Galaxy Force. You know, Japanese version, no code on the back. Yeah, believe it or not, translucent plastic TJOmega absolutely loves these little things. I always thought they were such a cool little thing. I used to keep my collection in a coin binder because a 50-cent piece, I think it is, like a 50-cent piece binder sheet, fit these perfectly. So that's how I took care of them. That's how I kept them from getting scratched up against each other and all that. Now I don't have enough to really warrant something like that. So they're just kind of in bins, and like the more sensitive ones, I have little bags on individual. Look at it. It's just, And you'll also note, clamshell packaging means no twist ties, no plastic bands, no rattan ties, no nothing. This toy is still so freaking gorgeous, and the Japanese version makes this pop so much more. Yeah, they loaded down a lot more paint. A lot of the small details are a lot better painted on this version. Just everything pops really, really well. The thing on the Japanese, one of the things about the Japanese version that the American version kind of skipped out on, chrome. Actual chrome along the wings. And you'll notice it's not cracked, it's not chipping or flaking. Like, it's just there. It works. It's the chrome that's actually properly applied. For some reason, now keep in mind, there's a lot of G1 toys that were chromed, and at most you might get some play wear on them. They might be like dulled around the hard edges of the toy, but the chrome lasts. Like, the chrome from the 80s toys doesn't go anywhere, and there's a lot of toys that use chrome. Like, look at your Hot Wheels, for instance, where the chrome's fine. It doesn't do what like transmetal chrome did for so many back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Rip everybody's Beast Machines Jetstorm. But here, like, it works. Like, it was really just that one bad run. Chrome is not inherently bad, but you do have to be delicate with it, even if it's well applied. It's just not the whole nightmarish scenario that you might remember from a few bad examples. But yeah, like this, gorgeous. Let's see, gimmickry still work? If I raise that up, yep, spring still launches. 20 years that spring's been compressed and still nice and strong. Yeah, you see that? Oh, it's not supposed to rocket like that. Okay. Yeah, let me get the wings off and I'll get to the business of transforming them, because there's a few other bits that are different on this one that I actually want to check out that I've never really properly experienced, because I've never had the Japanese version of the mold. So let's see if I can remember how to do it, and let's see if I can remember how to do this while staring through a camera. That's always the fun thing. See, close up like that. Put this down, rotate that around. That's going to be like that. Raise that up. Can never remember exactly what to do with the leg kibble along the side. Alright. Crank that foot like that. Crank this. Okay, yeah. So, As we do this, you might be wondering, why are you willing to just open up a 20-year-old toy that is probably way more valuable than the American version that you could probably get loose, opened, pretty cheap? Well, number one, aside from just like hesitant, like I want to feel like I want this to feel like the way it was right out of the packaging, 20 years ago. So like, how good are the ball joints? How good are the sockets? I don't want to have any kind of pre-ownership, so that's why I don't go used. But I've become a big proponent lately of just like, it's there to be enjoyed, and it comes from working at the toy shop a lot, where I've now experienced many, many, many times, so much of our inventory comes from people who said, this is from my brother or my father's collection, or this is like someone who is close to me or important, they pass away or they die, something goes wrong, and they're like, well, now they have this toy collection to move. And it happens to everything, like, your aunt passes away, and think of all the things she kept that you just never used because she was always trying to keep it in good condition, never wanted to actually like break it out or let anyone else mess with it or put it to its intended purpose. Well, she went her whole life without really experiencing, how nice that could have been, right? So I'm kind of getting to this point where I'm like, I've always been like, take it out and play with it. I've always been like, a out of box preferred, collector. But when it comes to things like this, I have them just because I like how they look in package, but that's not really enjoying them for what they're supposed to be for, something could happen to me tomorrow that prevents me from ever enjoying a Transformer like this again. Maybe it's not like something dire, but like if I have an accident and my hands don't work the way they used to, or something gets in my eye and I can't see anymore, like you never know, bad things happen. And then I just have to remember, like, I had all this stuff that I never truly experienced. So I'm kind of trying to take that to heart and keep that in mind. Like, just experience what you got, and just enjoy it. Because you never know when you don't want to go like your whole life not getting to know what this thing you cherished so much was actually like. So, I will say, right out of the box, what surprises me is his hips are kind of loose. Like, if I hold him up, like his legs have some wobble to those ball joints. They're stiff enough to hold a pose. So like there, see, you can actually, they actually stay up. The ball joints do work, but they are looser than I would like, which is weird. Because you'd think Takara had such high standards for their toys, and they still kind of do. But, like, I can't imagine a ball joint gets out from their production line, and it's not, like, airtight. It's weird. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have the American version with me, and I'm recording with my phone. I normally look up photos of this on my phone, right? So I can't do that either. But, the toy itself still looks freaking gorgeous. It is more accurate than the American version, I'll say that. It's got a lot more detailing going on. In particular, I love this, like, all the detailing along the thigh, like, all those inner lines painted, even on the back side. I'm, like, 100% sure the American version cut out the ones on the back. If they didn't, someone in the comments is going to correct me. I want to say they also softened some details. Like, I thought I remember the American versions was supposed to have, like, softer, more rounded horns for safety, but these don't look dangerous. These kind of look the same, rounded, kind of, like, less pointy. I was actually expecting those to be, like, razor sharp. I might have to go back and see exactly what they were talking about with that, because I know there's mold differences. Gorgeous toy, though. Like the orange and black. Like I talk about this toy a lot when I point out where, like, you can get away with some color schemes that you would associate with other things if you're doing them right. Like, this should scream Halloween, but it's not. And there's something about the application of silver and gold that's, like, preventing the Halloween from coming out from all that green and orange, or black and orange. Where did I get green from? Still, beautiful, beautiful figure. Let's see. This is just me playing at this point. You'll note, like, I'm not actually reviewing or critiquing or anything. I'm just, like, playing and just seeing how the toy is after so long. The elbows are, like, dead tight. Those are dead solid. Outward shoulder could be a little bit tighter. It's not bad. Head's fine. You can't really do anything bad with the head. Knees are good as well. It really does feel like it's just mostly these, like, ball joints on the legs. And now that could be something that 20 years has changed, you know, because 20 years in the same position, that plastic might have slightly flexed just a little bit or gotten used to its position, so it doesn't actually hold this pose any longer. So that might be a case of just like, it's been in the box so long, that's, you know, just what's going on with it. But hard to tell. Hard to tell. Get those sprung out again. Don't fly out this time, please. Oh, no, no. Yeah, I missed this toy. I missed having this toy. Okay, so loose ball joints aside, yeah, this is still just gorgeous. Everything else besides those ball joints feels really nice out of the box. I will say that. And like I said, those ball joints might just be from the fact that those joints have been remember, ball joints work because of constant pressure. That socket being just a little bit too small for the ball that's going into it. That's what creates the joint effect. That's what creates the universal motion and the friction. So yeah, 20 years of being pushed into that position, it might actually be a little bit looser than it used to be. Even if I crack this out open, you know, after I first got it from Frankenson, it might have actually felt okay. But as it stands, yeah, it's just a little bit weird. A little bit weird. Fortunately, ball joints are like the easiest thing to fix, even though I'm terrible at fixing Transformers, but you get my drift. So, there you go. That is me having the sacrilegion of opening up a 20-year-old Transformer live on the air. I'm going to finish it off by showing you the inserts. So, stat card. Man, you remember we used to get stat cards? Oh, none of his stats are known because he's the secret mystery agent. Alright, you stand over here. Let's see what else we got in here. So, let's see. Okay, instructions, which actually use a prototype of the toy for demonstration, and then actual highlighting of the sections to tell you what's moving during each step. This is so nice. This is when instructions were nice and clear and actually had written detail about how to get things done. This was when instruction booklets were useful. And then we have the lovely catalog. Inside, there's Galaxy Force Optimus Prime. Oh, hey, it's the best Transformer toy ever made. Let's see, Override. Let me look at the spread. Look at how good this toy line was. Look at the variety you've got. Look how colorful all the characters were. And the engineering was just so dead solid. Just, you know, we're not relying on panels for everything. You know, the parts are just there, and they just look good in both modes. Yeah, so just to be real with you, we'll look through here. Actually, the one I have is not on this page. So, I have Land Bullet sealed. That's another Frankenson get, as is the other deluxe that I either took home and or Edgar sent me, which is not shown on here. It's Terra Shaver, the Pteranodon that became Brimstone, you know, which is a fantastic name. Oh, and look, man, you can tell exactly when this came out. So look, you have Psydos Backstop, who's in silhouette because his toy hasn't been revealed yet. You have the Gray Proto as a teaser for evac, or live convoy. And you have a little promo item, a red Earth key. One of the few I never got, by the way. Again, like stuff out of Transformers you just don't have anymore. You know, and then you have your quality assurance thing. You have, you know, like, or this might be a contest entry. Yeah, because look, robot points. Again, you just don't have any more. God, I almost want to just, like, aim my, like, translation app at this and just see what this says. But yeah, that is a 20-year-old Japanese Transformer for you. Yeah, nice little trip down memory lane, and a toy I get to goof with for the rest of the night. So, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.